Canadian Grand Prix, rocking and rolling. Saturday, it's at a reasonable time for us East Coast dwellers. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm glad it's not in the morning. I kind of like them when they're early though, because it's like I can wake up, knock it out, and then the rest of my day is usually awesome. Unless Ferrari has a double DNF or Lewis Hamilton comes in 11th. But
Well, dude, even if he comes in 11th, you guys are somehow P2 in the constructors.
I guess so. I can't complain. They're starting to put up some numbers, so we're good with it. But I'm excited. I feel like once you have like a triple header or a double header, you get a lot of race action in like 2 weeks, and then you take a weekend off, and it feels like you haven't seen the sport in forever, and you
Literally.
think everything's going to change. So there's a lot of excitement that comes around
It
it.
feels like a huge gap. Yeah, especially after the 3 weeks in a row. But actually, well, I mean, I basically took a week off when we just didn't even like finish in Barcelona, basically. Or not Barcelona. Where was it just at? Imola? Am I stupid? What was the race, the Spanish race that we were just talking about?
Spain, yeah, Barcelona.
Oh, it wasn't Barcelona. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good. We're good. But yeah, basically, that was not a great race. So I'm excited for hopefully redemption at a track that seemingly does well with Williams. So I'm excited. I kind of agree with you that it's nice when it's early because I can just like drink my coffee, eat my breakfast, and like watch the race.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not mad about a 3 p.m. start either. But before we get into the full prediction update, I am up 14-11 against Grant. First place, 3 points. Second place, 2. And third, 1. Looking pretty good. You kind of got some ground back after Imola. That was the last one we did predictions for. So
Mm-hmm.
3 point gap, not that bad. I mean, if you guess first and I guess none, it's game on. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good though. Not gonna lie. And then I think on that note, we can run into the top 5 if you want to.
Top five. Do we want to pick our
Well,
top
not
three
top 5,
finishers?
top 3 to start. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I think McLaren was strong at this track last year. This is where they started to kind of show that car had teeth. Um, I excuse the video problems. We're gonna try and reset this thing.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, this is where they started to show that they had pace last year. So I think with Lando coming off of a win in Monaco for sure, his confidence is working its way back. I think we can all say that.
But
Oscar, of course, is dominant.
yeah.
I'm probably going to go Oscar Lando. George has performed well here in the past, so I'll throw him in there too. That'll be my top three.
You're just gonna go
Um,
Oscar, Lando, George.
George, yeah.
Wow,
To
dude, that's
round out my,
so boring.
I can't go crazy with plays anymore because I gotta make a comeback here.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
know you're gonna do the same thing too,
no,
or unless you're gonna try to put George in second.
no. I'm putting Oscar in first place. I think that is like I can't pick anybody else to go first place. Actually, let's do
Yeah.
Alex out. No, I'm kidding. And then I think second place. I have a weird sense of Max coming back in this race.
Yeah.
But also there's like a whole bunch of talk of he's 1 penalty point away from being banned. So like maybe Max doesn't race as hard. I think that's BS. I think he's going to come back swinging. I'm going to put Max in P2. And then for P3, I'm in a toss up. I think safe bet's probably just go Lando, which I might do. But I keep thinking of George and Charles, and we kind of talked about how they're going to be the new fight for basically constructors.
Mhm.
For are they next to each other in the constructor standings as well? Like when it comes to individual points, but I mean, obviously the team is split up by 6 points. Ferrari's
Yeah,
in second now.
constructors they're six apart. Drivers championship, I think they're I don't think they're super close, but close enough that it means something. I mean,
Yeah,
they got to.
so I mean that they're going to be sparring with each other. I think the biggest thing is that it's just weather dependent on how hot it is because I feel like the Ferrari just doesn't seem to do very well when things heat up. That car,
No, because
like,
we chew up tires anyway, and the
yeah.
engine doesn't do well running hot.
So I think that's kind of where the weather seems to be temperate, but if it heats up at all, the Ferrari I feel like gets cooked. So I'm going with the Mercedes over that. But even with that long wind stint right there, I'm probably just gonna go Lando Norris in third place.
Yeah.
I there's a part of me that kind of wants to give Charles Leclerc a podium again. I just don't feel like it's gonna happen. So, but this is where the fourth and fifth place I think is gonna be kind of a toss up. I mean, you've now got so you go Oscar, Lando, George. Who do you have rolling in at 4 and 5?
I'm gonna go Leclerc 4, Max 5.
Max 5.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
gonna think he's. Well, I mean, it's not an easy overtake track. Like if he doesn't qualify well, which granted he could, but he drags race pace out. But if he can't pass anybody, it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking kind of narrow turns, narrow track in general. It's a street circuit, so I mean, it's not like Baku. It doesn't have a 5 mile straight on the back. So, like, or I guess that pit lane straight. But either way, Charles 4, Max 5. I'm gonna go. I always put Kimmy 6th. He needs a bounce back though. So
He does. I feel like he's due, but I feel like we've also been saying that.
it's gonna be Kimmy and Lewis. I think could be interchangeable. I'm gonna go 6, 7. I know I've probably said that probably every race, but
Okay.
and then 8, 9, 10. I want to see Yuki in the points.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might be able to do it here. And then Williams always performs well here, so double points for them. Maybe put one of them in 7th. I think they're 7, 9, 7, 10, something like that for them. It'll be good. Williams is in. If we're going to get on this topic early, Williams is in that weird limbo spot right now in the midfield. Though it's like they're enough ahead of people to not really be scared. They can have a bad race, but they aren't close enough without something crazy happening to make a jump.
We can't have too many bad races. We're at 54, and then in 6 is Racing Bulls at 28, and then Haas is 26 right behind them. So it's, I mean, the margins are pretty small, but I mean, if we're in the points, it's fine. And obviously we're scraping for not big points compared to everybody else. Yeah, this track has those long straights at, but it's 2 long straights. What is it? Sector 3 has that little, like, tiny little turn that seemingly causes some incidents.
Yeah, it's fast.
So,
I mean, and that front straight is not long. That front straight's short. You come out of that chicane,
and it's not really a pass. So after that little indent, that's kind of where you pass. So like 13 to 12 or whatever it is. I'm looking at the map right now, but
yeah,
I think that is why Williams tends to do all right, because in a straight line we're quick. That's how it's always been. So I'm feeling confident in this race. Since these don't really count for points, I'm definitely going to go with my heart a little bit more. So probably to round it out. So 4th place, I'm probably going to do George Russell. 5th place, I'm going to do Alex Albon. 6th place, I'm going to do Charles Leclerc. 7th place, I'm going to do Carlos Sainz.
Oh.
8th place, Lewis Hamilton. 9th place, Yuki Tsunoda. 10th place, Isaac Hadjar.
Kimmy out of the points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think replace Yuki for Kimmy. I think Kimmy's out of, not Kimmy, Yuki's out of the points. I think Kimmy's back in. I just said he would be at what? I did Albon, Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton. Then
9.
let's do Kimmy, and then let's do Hadjar.
And I mean, it could be a huge, again, if Williams gets a car up there in 6th, you're just gonna lengthen that you're gonna create more ground to cover for what, it's V-carb behind you?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's V-carb.
So yeah, I mean, it's possible. They show up here, so let them show up.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I just feel like it's going to be one of those races where we creep into 5th place if somebody does, and then it just always feels like there's a Ferrari splitting us. But the Ferrari looks a lot faster now, to give them credit. But I will say, like, when we saw, like, there's been good quality fights between the 2 cars to where it's not easy to pass, and especially in the straight line, I feel like we might even have the advantage. So it'll be fun to see, like, what happens if they even get an opportunity to go around each other. I do think there's going to be a lot of passing. But I think
people try. I hope there is too. It just that straight before you get to the pit straight, like you hit that long straight, then that chicane, and then the pit straight. That long straight does cause some chaos because people try to dive bomb it down. Colapinto maybe last year threw crazy dive bombs down there, I think. And then you also have that roundabouty turn 1 or 2, I guess is like
No, yeah, it's 1-2. It's like a big little
It's
loop.
like a horseshoe.
Yeah.
Which, if somebody can find grip, heat tires up, find grip around the outside, you can go. Because then, if you get traction out of there, you're making a move in a turn
And then
3, I
what was
guess.
it last year? I think it was the straight in sector 2, 7, 8, and then the turn that's 8, 9 is where Alex got that double overtake on Ricardo, and I forget who else it was. So,
Yeah.
but that was such a cool overtake in a crappy car. So I think it's going to be good racing. I do agree that Oscar Piastri is going to be pulling ahead in the constructors. We do have some things to
Drivers.
talk. Oh, sorry, you're correct. The drivers championship. We do have some things to talk about when it comes to everybody's favorite Canadian dude, Lance Stroll. So he was out last
Even
week.
Canadian. I mean,
What'd you say?
is he even actually Canadian?
I mean, technically he is, bro. All right.
He's born there.
Is he? Where does he?
Sure.
Sure, bro. But he's back. He has a wrist injury once again, which is kind of like there's rumors that he might have gotten mad after qualifying in the Spanish Grand Prix and may or may not have punched something to re-aggravate it. But those like cannot be confirmed. But it's like there's like a bunch of writing on the wall that not that he's going to be just okay to go, but there's like potential he would have to pass the physical when he gets there, and then there are inklings and rumors that people are saying maybe he won't pass and somebody else will have to step in.
Bottas.
I would love if Bottas did. Obviously, anybody that has a Mercedes engine or power unit, Bottas is their reserve driver. So that's the move. But like it kind of feels like the narrative they're trying to create is like this could finally be the opportunity where Lance Stroll loses his seat permanently if he has an injury that is more serious, like this wrist, or if it could evolve into something more serious.
Yeah, or if I'd just say it got re-aggravated. If it keeps getting re-aggravated, it's cause for concern, and they need somebody else in that seat, especially before next year, before Newey gets his hands all over that car and creates a rocket ship that both cars probably are going to be scoring points. They need somebody that consistently can do that.
And I've been hearing a lot more things about that Aston Martin seat not just being eyed down by Max Verstappen, but potentially there being talks of George Russell hopping into it.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Which was not on my bingo card. I mean, it could happen. I mean, I think Mercedes will re-sign George Russell. I think he's beyond proved himself, but they haven't done it yet. So who's to say that he is shopping around? He's had lunch with Christian Horner already too. So it's like
supposedly.
it's one of those things where like, hey, it's not out of this world for George Russell to go somewhere else. I don't think there's any chance he doesn't have a seat next year, but we could see him driving for another team. And it doesn't. I don't think Fernando's done after this year. I mean, you're a bigger Fernando fan than me, but you think he's going to stay for the small cars to see what comes of it. Mm-hmm. But it seems like the driver number 2 for Aston Martin could be taking a pivot, and all the signs keep leading towards it. And then this just kind of seems like not the final nail, but a final inkling of like, oh no, this is actually a legit potential now, not just people hoping that Lance is out of the sport.
Yeah, no, it's real cause for concern. I think for Fernando stick around. I think where George is at with this is more so along the lines of like, okay, look, I want to drive for Mercedes. If somehow you guys can pull Max, obviously you're going to want him over me. I just need to make sure I have relationships elsewhere to say, look, I'm a darn good driver and I deserve a seat. So if you guys want me here, I'm here. If you replace me, I got to have somewhere to go.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine a Red Bull Mercedes driver swap?
I would hate that.
I would hate that too. It would
George
just feel
in a
so
Red Bull makes me want to puke.
I know. So I don't see it happening. It just doesn't make sense to have a guy that is that British represent a team that's going to be painfully trying to market to the American consumer with the Ford stuff, and then you got George Russell talking like he's in Parliament. Like it just does like a good fit. Lewis Hamilton still struggling. Do you feel like this is a track where he can finally find something, or do you think this is a punt for next season?
It's going to be same old story, is my thought. We've seen consistently middle of the points all year. I don't see this being any different. The upgrades did make the car faster. He qualified better, but where did the race pace go? No one knows. If it's hot and if they're burning up tires, there's going to be a problem. So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to say that the car's going to be quick and they're going to move. Like we said before, Leclerc's going to drag that thing through whatever. He knows how to handle it. Lewis is still trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing new.
All right, and then the last thing I saw and last question I have. So there is the potential of obviously Max gets disqualified and cannot race due to like penalty points.
Mm.
In that case, obviously an I is Isaac Kajar to be pulled up to race in that car or Liam Lawson. And then a whole nother scenario happens. If they get pulled up to be in that car, they're directly in comparison to Yuki Tsunoda again.
Yeah.
And I've heard things already that Isaac Hadjar is being eyed down by the Red Bull team for an early pull up because they're like, this kid is unbelievable. But VCarb has been extremely, extremely defensive of him and being like, you cannot freaking have this kid yet. You got
I
to
don't
let
think
him
they'll
keep
do it to
driving in the VCarb. So I guess, do you think that'll ever happen? And I think even if Max gets DQ'd and say Isaac goes in and outperforms Yuki, do you think Red Bull would even dare to do another driver switch?
I don't think that they will do that to Isaac. Like the kid has confidence right now, and he's pulling that car at a pretty good pace. I think you're foolish to try and put him in something that's oversensitive and a little bit shaky right now. Because Yuki did the same thing. Yuki was stout in the V carb too,
Yeah.
and they move him, and now he's a little shaky. It's like, well, I don't think they will. I think if Max goes out, they'll probably like give some random person we don't know a drive.
Really?
Kind of. I mean, what it's like they're going to rely on Yuki heavily, but who are their reserve guys? Obviously the two V carb dudes, but who after that?
Who's Limlad is apparently getting he's like their F2 driver right now, I think.
Is that the kid that is like 17 and just got a super license?
Yeah, so they were like trying to accelerate him getting his super license so he could get in a car potentially. I think if Max went out, they would pull up one of the V carb guys and throw Limlad in one of the V carbs.
That'd be cool. I think you have to do Liam though. I don't think you ruin Hadjar's.
Yeah, I kind of am with you. Like Liam's already
mojo.
been in the car, but like at the same time, it's Red Bull, so they're going to be greedy and they're going to want to see the opportunity with putting arguably their best performing young driver in the car.
Put Max in a V carb for one
Put
race.
Max in a V carb. Yeah, if you put Max in a V carb, what would happen?
Haul, dude. He would.
Do you actually think he would drive better?
I don't know if it'd be better, but I think he would be like, heck yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a little bit downgrade. It's not like as fast, obviously, but they actually have traction control on in that car. And then I feel like the Red Bull's probably like hopping in a McLaren for the first time and just turning off traction control and just gunning it and
turning off everything and slamming the gas.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think Max can drive anything, but it's almost like he can drive this beast that makes no sense. So like, why not let him keep trying?
Yeah.
He's obviously not going to get pulled down. I think that's just like a fun idea to think of.
No, and the other thing is I bet they may give somebody a chance to drive it in like FP1 because they're going to have to like mitigate risk, right? He can't have an unsafe release. He can't speed in the pit lane. He can't do anything or he's suspended. So I think they got to think about that and do something with maybe practice one, give somebody a chance to whip it around. But they're going to be uber careful. He'll be careful too. If it comes to like race day and he does something stupid, okay, so what? I wouldn't put it past him. But
currently on reserve is Liam Lawson, and in their junior program they have, I'm gonna murder these, Pepe Marti and Ayumu Iwasa.
Okay, yeah, no idea. This isn't a sprint. This isn't a sprint weekend, is it?
I don't think so. Has it ever been? I think it has been before, right?
Maybe. When's the last time we had a sprint? Been a
while. No, it's not a sprint weekend in 2025. The last sprint we had was Miami.
Miami, yeah.
But the Lego race obviously was better than the sprint, so
it was.
It was so much better.
It was almost better than the race.
It was so fun, dude. I love that video. Okay, I have one last question. I just thought of something. Is Kick Sauber going to keep being fast, or was that a complete fluke with Nico Hulkenberg last race?
Good strategy. I don't think they're fast.
You don't think it's that fast? Yeah.
I think if maybe they start going as fast as a Haas.
Yeah. I mean, they're only 4 points behind. Oh, wait, no, that's the drivers. They are in 8th place. Yeah, they're 10 points behind Haas. That's not really that bad.
Maybe they catch them.
That'd be kind of crazy. Bortoleto, will he ever score points? The world may never know. I don't think Franco Colapinto is going to score points. So then the next question is, How long until Franco Colapinto gets thrown out of the car and somebody else gets put in?
They gotta let him finish the year.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. That car sucks so bad.
It's awful, dude.
It's
But
unbelievable.
again, they're gonna at the end of the year they'll pull some P5 out of their butt again and score points.
But the difference is that a lot of midfield teams have pulled P5s this year. So it's
Yeah,
not going to have as big
there's
of
a
an
big gap.
effect. Like Williams has already gotten, Albon's gotten 3 P5s already.
Yeah.
And then Hadjar's gotten a P6 already, I'm pretty sure. And then Hulkenberg obviously got a P5 already. And then Lance Stroll got a freaking P6, bro.
Your delta is bigger this year, so it's not going to be easily caught.
I
I got one more thing too, though. And we texted about this or Instagram or something. The Haas livery, they're doing the OG livery.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that they were going to do something retro, my mind went straight to that black and gold livery that was so cool. They fumbled.
You think that would have been ultimate opportunity?
That would have been the coolest thing. And maybe they do it for a US, like maybe they do it in Austin.
Yeah, bro, it's so clean.
The black and gold is so sick.
Was this debut or no?
Maybe year 2.
This is still Grosjean and K-Mag.
Yes.
2019.
Yeah. So like year 4.
That was when the energy drink company was with them for like, they were with them for not even
6
a full
months.
season, right? Yeah. And then they dropped them.
They're like, yeah, you guys suck.
And Gunther's like, oh fuck. So no, that livery was so sweet, dude. Gosh.
The coolest.
Right. He was pretty sweet. All right. Well, I feel like that's all I have to talk about for this. I'm excited for it. I do want to see some more specialty liveries. I feel like we've been missing out on some. We got such good ones in Japan. Oh my gosh. I don't think they're ever going to be topped.
No, those are stout. They'll come at the end of the year, though. People always do something for Vegas. Austin always gets one.
Williams usually does one for Silverstone.
Yeah, for Heritage, Mercedes. Well,
they're German, but
yeah, they're based in England now.
Oh yeah, true.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Brackley, I think, but
Austrian. I mean, Red Bull has never done anything for Austrians. Red Bull. Austrians. Red Bulls. Red Bull ring.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
I want them to do something sick. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Do some orange for Max or do a crazy. I mean, I guess they can't really do the white livery this year.
They already did it.
Again, though, I think it looks too much like the V-Carb.
I think they just need to do
V-Carb Toro Rosso livery.
Yes, I would love it. The blue and white again, or the white blue.
Please.
I think Red Bull's scared to do like anything sentimental towards Max because then it's gonna like confirm the fact that there's a chance he doesn't return next year.
Yeah,
they're like, no, everything's chill, bro. It's so chill.
We didn't love him that much.
Yeah, I don't know. So they're walking on thin ice, and then I don't know. All right, well, we both agree with one thing. That's Oscar Piastri is going to win the Canadian Grand Prix. I have Max Lando 2-3. You have Lando George 2-3. I'm optimistic about Williams, and you're not optimistic about Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
So nothing is really that crazy, but
no, that was a long story short right there. Nicely done.
Thanks, dude. I'm excited though. It'll be good. I'm excited to pop on that couch and do nothing that afternoon. So.
Oh, same. Watch the U.S. Open and that. It's gonna be great.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, like and subscribe, please. Subscriber counts trickling up, which is great. And we may just be sticking to race predictions because the number of videos not as good as a race prediction. But that's okay.
Crazy.
Well, it's probably SEO. Who knows? Whatever. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.